Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. We have an informative and inspiring show lined up that's sure to get you all fired up and wanting to be part of the action. Here's why.
Jamaica now stands on the threshold of a brighter tomorrow.
We are now creating a revolution in Jamaica in terms of renewable energy.
The show unfolds right now. Stay with us.
Is your silence worth the life of a child? Report child abuse. Call the Office of the Children's Registry at 1-888-PROTECT. Be the change. Speak out. Protect our children.
Good day, I'm Tamara McHale and this is your GIS News for Thursday, April 30. The long-awaited DNA bill has been tabled in the House of Representatives. National Security Minister Peter Bunting tabled the Deoxyribonucleic Acid DNA Evidence Act 2015 while making his contribution to the sectoral debate on Wednesday. Among other things, it will allow for the compulsory taking of DNA samples from criminal suspects.
This legislation will provide for the keeping, maintaining and operating of a consolidated forensic DNA data bank to be known as the National DNA Register for the purposes of forensic investigation and human identification.
In the meantime, the minister announced that Jamaica's integrated ballistics identification system is now fully linked with the Interpol Ballistic Information Network. This will connect Jamaica to other countries worldwide that have agreed to share ballistic data in an effort to combat gun crimes and the trafficking of guns across international borders. The Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, will start delivery of approximately 900 housing solutions within the next 12 months. The solutions will be provided under a public-private partnership program in 3 parishes.
Projects include Reed's Pen in St. Catherine, Penwood Road in St. Andrew, and Vernon Drive in St. James, all of which have reached significant design stage.
The minister with responsibility for housing was making his contribution to the sectoral debate on Tuesday. He said the HAJ had completed over 1,500 housing solutions under a number of greenfield projects and plans to deliver over 1,000 more this fiscal year.
Projects to be continued or initiated for 2015-16 include Green Pond in St. James with 324 solutions, Mosquito Cove in Hanover, 170 solutions, Shooters Hill Phase 1 in Portmore, St. Catherine, over 200 solutions, and Non-Pariel in Westmoreland, 100 solutions.
$1.5 billion will be spent on construction activities under the Major Infrastructure Development Program, MIDP, during the 2015-2016 fiscal year.
6 road contracts have been sent for letting, while 2 others, Chovy via Claremont to Highgate and St. Mary, and Mandeville to Spurtree via Swabies Hope, will be carried out by check in this fiscal year. 6 bridges repairs to 6 bridges will take place.
Among the bridges targeted for work are the Silent Hill Bridge in Clarendon, Jacobs River Bridge 1 and 2 in Portland, Latium Bridge in St. James, and Vanity Fair Bridge in St. Catherine. Transport Works and Housing Minister Dr. Omar Davies has named the 5 shortlisted firms that are bidding for the privatization of the Norman Manley International Airport, NMIA. Dr. Davies revealed the names of the firms while making a statement to Parliament on Tuesday regarding the NMIA public-private partnership transaction.
The RFP is expected to be issued to the pre-qualified firms in June 2015, and the provisional preferred bidder will be selected and announced by Cabinet by the fourth quarter of this fiscal year.
The Climate Change Ministry has received $2 billion from the Climate Investment Fund through the Inter-American Development Bank to mainstream climate change action across the government. Climate Change Minister Robert Pickersgill made the announcement while delivering his sectoral presentation in Parliament on Wednesday. He said the funds would help to climate-proof each sector.
The program will strengthen institutional capacity as well as finance climate change adaptation in the agricultural sector and in the wider community.
In the meantime, Minister Pickersgill says the climate change policy framework, which will guide the country's approach towards building climate change resilience, has been completed and will be tabled in Parliament soon. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller today urged Jamaicans to partner with government to ensure that road users, particularly children, are safe. Mrs. Simpson Miller also made a special appeal for motorists to look out for persons with disabilities. She was speaking at the launch of the 3rd UN Global Road Safety Week 2015. The week runs from May 4 to 10 under the theme, Save Kids' Lives. The Prime Minister said road crashes significantly affected Jamaica's development goals because our people are our greatest asset. As a result, she said government was pursuing several strategies to reduce road crashes and fatalities.
In addition to communication and the awareness campaigns, we will also be making changes to the Road Traffic Act. Discussions are also taking place for improvements in technology to include the use of electronic surveillance systems to curb speeding and the running of red lights.
And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.
Fiscal consolidation.
The centerpiece of the program has been the need to reduce our debt.
Business reform.
Make sure that we transform Jamaica to make it a place to do business easily.
New and existing businesses will benefit from streamlined regulations and processes.
And pursuing strategic investments while protecting the most vulnerable.
The path we're on is the right path.
The economy in Jamaica is turning.
The fact that the international community is once again lending to Jamaica says something about their confidence in our policies.
It is now time to actually stay the course, not to lose the benefits of the hard decisions that have been made.
The Jamaican government is committed to continuing the process of reform.
The government of Jamaica is on a mission, going for growth, staying the course and transforming the economy through its economic reform program.
There's no letting up on the growth agenda for the country. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller says her administration is creating more job and investment opportunities, and she has more to say about the plans for national development. That's next.
We cannot stop now. That's right. We have come too far. We're moving forward with jobs. We're moving forward with investments. We're moving forward with growth and development. Our growth agenda, guided by our fiscal policy, is designed to achieve the best for our country. The Jamaican people have kept faith with us. Their sacrifices are paying off. Jamaica now stands on the threshold of a brighter tomorrow. Our economy has stabilized. We have been meeting our targets and have passed all 7 quarterly IMF tests so far. We have restored international credibility. Jamaica's credit worthiness has been upgraded. The Bank of Jamaica is reporting significant activity in the microfinance sector. Jamaica attracted US $707 million in foreign direct investments over the 12 months ending September 2014. The UDC is positioned to spend $2.5 billion on capital development and investment projects this year. The UDC is projected to make a modest operational profit by the end of this financial year. My government has been pursuing a comprehensive energy strategy. The US $90 million wind project by Blue Mountain Renewables, the expansion of the capacity of the Wigton wind farm, and an investment to be made in a solar facility in the constituency of Southwest Clarendon are further examples of this important strategy. Rusal Alpart commenced extraction of bauxite. The company is on track to hire 250 people in total for the duration of the project.
Welcome to Jamaica.
Jamaica welcomed over 3.5 million visitors to the island in 2014. Over $1.6 billion will be expended in various programs across the island, including an all-island public beach park program, health tourism projects, including the Milk River Hotel, and an island-wide rest stop program. We are taking a targeted and focused business approach to the related cultural, creative, science, technology, energy, and math industries. This year, this government has budgeted over $2.6 billion across ministries in support of the creative economy. Investment in sport infrastructure continues during 2015, including the reconstruction of the running track and infield at GC Foster College of Physical Education, the Jamaican Athletes Insurance Plan, and will also become a reality 2015-2016. To support our growth strategy and our social development, we're improving our infrastructure. Last year, I opened the Moneague leg of the North-South Highway. The developers have promised completion of the roadway by or before December next year. We are moving ahead with other important roadworks under the Major Infrastructure Development Program. The Port Authority of Jamaica has concluded a long-term concession to expand the Kingston Container Terminal. In this upcoming financial year, there will be greater emphasis on expanding rural water supply projects to areas that are still underserved. We want more Jamaicans to own a piece of this rock. An important part of any growth strategy is an educated and trained population. The Heart Trust NTA is being repositioned to focus on the creation of a comprehensive national training agency to drive workforce development. Our children are our future leaders. We will protect them. The law is to be amended to allow for stiffer penalties where a girl is murdered and the perpetrator knew that she was pregnant. The growth and development we seek for our country cannot be achieved without a healthy population. $7 billion is being added to the allocation for health in this year's budget. It is the largest increase in this budget. I sincerely empathize with all the persons who were affected by the fire at the Riverton City disposal site. Through the coordinated efforts of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and several public and private sector agencies and partners, we passed the worst. Thank you for your dedication and hard work. Tangible developments are taking place in the country. The growth agenda is Jamaica's agenda. We're moving forward.
I'm missing for a word.
Ready a long time. Let's go. Ready, Mona?
Yeah. Oh, Shelly, I have a file for you for tomorrow, okay?
All right.
I'm gonna leave it on your desk.
Sure, go right ahead.
But Shelly, you don't shut down the computer.
But it not gonna do nothing.
But of course, when you leave it on, it burns excess energy.
I say go?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know that the country foots the bill to import the fuel that produces electricity? Let's all play our part to conserve on energy by ironing once per week, unplugging all appliances when not in use, and avoid keeping the refrigerator open for a long period of time when removing food. Get smart. Don't get left in the dark.
The growth agenda continues, and the science, technology, energy and mining industries are major players. Portfolio Minister Philip Paulwell says there's much to look out for in the 2015-2016 fiscal year. Let's hear what's in store.
Today, we have established 213 community access points across Jamaica.
And that's just the tip of the virtual iceberg for the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining.
We are continuing to establish a broadband network connecting institutions across the length and the breadth of Jamaica. The Courts Services Management System, $19 million, we're installing that. The Jamaica Agricultural Society, $7 million to establish agricultural commodities market and call centers. UWI, we have spent $72 million to enable Wi-Fi access across the campus. Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning, similarly, along with also the Public Broadcasting Corporation of Jamaica.
As he delivered his contribution to the 2015-2016 sectoral debate, Minister Paulwell also announced the sale of additional spectrum to telecoms provider Lime.
In the middle of March, we signed an agreement with Lime for the sale of additional spectrum totaling $2.6 billion Jamaican dollars, of which $1.3 billion was paid over on the 31st of March 2015.
As for government's Tablet in Schools project, he says it's been generating improved performance and discipline among students. It's also helping young tech entrepreneurs create businesses. So too is the Startup Jamaica initiative, through which 6 companies got $30,000 in equity and were selected to participate in a technology boot camp in Jordan.
And this project is aimed at enabling our young people who are innovators and entrepreneurs to do well.
Others are finding success through government interventions to grow Jamaica's business process outsourcing industry.
Sutherland will be establishing in Mandeville, largely due to the efforts of our Prime Minister who convinced them to go to Mandeville. And I should also announce that Lime has indicated to me that with the recent merger, they are looking at relocating jobs overseas to create 200 jobs here in Jamaica.
The BPO industry should generate a total 3,000 jobs by the end of this year, and with this level of growth, security of information is extremely important.
The Cabinet recently approved the tabling of the new Cybercrimes Act, which will be done in this month here, and we have also signed an MOU, Stop, Think, Connect campaign to raise public awareness about cybersecurity.
Key to this process is the appointment of a Chief Information Officer to oversee government's full utilization of ICT. Dr. Louis Shalal took office on April 13.
So we are developing a clear policy framework to promote the use of ICTs across government.
No chemical, no pesticide, no fertilizer.
History created. License granted to cultivate ganja for scientific research, particularly for its medicinal properties. That announcement by Minister Paulwell came on April 15, the same day the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act 2015 took effect. The University of the West Indies and University of Technology will be able to grow the crop, but under strict regulations.
It is not a free-for-all. It is not to promote the smoking of ganja. It is to recognize that this product has tremendous value in it. And as we move towards enabling the commercialization of medical ganja, the research aspect is crucial.
To maintain a consistent quality, a detailed training curriculum has been developed to support farmers.
There are many countries now that have done very well in research in ganja. Jamaica wants to re-establish itself as a center of excellence for the research in ganja. This should be the home of research and development in ganja, and that is what we intend to do.
Since that announcement, the University of the West Indies got its license and has planted ganja trees on campus grounds. Granting the license to the UWI and UTEC is part of government's policy to accelerate the development of a national nutraceutical industry through research and development.
Just give me the light. Just give me the light. Just give me the light. Yeah.
In the 2015-2016 fiscal year, the Energy Ministry continues its sharp focus on energy conservation and efficiency and diversification through the introduction of renewables. The strategy includes partnership with the United States Department of Energy through a letter of intent signed on April 9.
Which is promoting cooperation on energy conservation and efficiency, develop the renewable energy sector, and fuel diversification, which includes, importantly, the introduction of natural gas as part of our energy mix.
In the meantime, a $1.1 million contract is being reviewed to conduct a hydropower feasibility study on 6 sites. 20 megawatts of energy is expected to be created.
We're doing further pre-feasibility at Green River, Wild Cane River, Rio Grande 1, Rio Grande 2, Swift River, and the NIC irrigation channel. All of these we intend to keep the public fully apprised because we want to package investment and to promote them as investment projects for the private sector.
The rural electrification program is being rebranded and streamlined to offer renewable energy solutions for hard-to-reach rural communities.
There are some parishes that we have to focus on in the next 2 to 3 years. Westmoreland is one. We're going to focus on them. We have to get Westmoreland electrified. Then there's Hanover, St. Elizabeth. We have to make sure St. Thomas as well.
Critical to this process is the new electricity bill, which Minister Paulwell says will be passed in May of this year.
The law is going to provide a modern, codified system of regulating the generation, transmission, supply, distribution, and very importantly, dispatch of electricity.
The bill will also define the role and responsibility of the Office of Utilities Regulations and the STEM Ministry. The OUR will focus on regulations and the Ministry on planning. Procurement remains within the Office of the Prime Minister. A comprehensive plan to fully develop and expand the minerals sector over the period 2015 to 2018 is gaining momentum. The National Minerals Policy will be tabled in the 2015-2016 legislative year to provide the framework to attract investments in industrial and metallic minerals. Opportunities will be made available for the prospecting of gold and copper and the exploitation of limestone potential. As for the bauxite sector, in 2014, production grew by 2.6%, reflecting 9.7 million tons. Exports grew by 0.3% to 4.4 million tons, while crude bauxite production increased by 2.8%. The sector is also poised for further growth this year.
We are seeing the revitalization of the bauxite industry. And by the end of next year, we are seeing the return of profitability to the government-owned Clarendon Aluminum Partners, and that's a tremendous achievement.
As for Alpart,
work is happening. People are being employed. The bauxite is being mined, and the repairs are being done for the establishment, looks good, for the establishment of the port.
Investors have also shown interest in rare earth development, as government now looks to patent work already done in the pilot project stage.
We are seeing additional interest because recently I granted exploration licenses to an Australian company, Rare Metals Jamaica Limited, and they are now prospecting for rare earth. So the project is not dead, far from dead.
Entering niche markets, becoming competitive and generating sustainable development. STEM, generating growth and development.
So we now go to jail again. Oh no.
and we never gonna fail again.
The possession of small quantities of ganja is still against the law, but as of April 15, 2015, it is decriminalized.
Possession of 2 ounces or 0.057 kilograms or less will become a non-arrestable, ticketable infraction.
That means you can't be held by the police or end up with a criminal record, but you will be given a $500 ticket. The police may also recommend counseling for minors or adults they believe to be hooked on the drug. The ticket must be paid at any tax office within 30 days. If you miss the deadline, the Petty Session Court can order community service or a fine of $2,000. But be clear, possession of more than 2 ounces of ganja is still a criminal offense that comes with a fine or a prison sentence. There are exceptions, however. The rules against possession of ganja do not apply to Rastafarians who use it as a religious sacrament and persons with a prescription for medical or therapeutic purposes. Ganja can also be used in scientific research. Be in the know. Get the facts on the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
So we now go to jail again. Oh no, and we never gonna fail again.
It was my pleasure guiding you through the pages of Jamaica Magazine. A new edition is in the works. Check back tomorrow, same time, same station for the details. In the meantime, there's more information on our website, jis.gov.jm, and on Twitter at JISnews. If you've got ideas for future programs, send them to us. Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. On behalf of all of us here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.